Welcome. Took a little while before the video started, and having a sugar rush. Just ate a half a grapefruit. Now I'm eating a frozen banana. I love when the supermarket puts these bananas out, 6 bananas for 80 cents, you know, because they turn brown. Throw them in the freezer. Pre-pill them, throw them in the freezer. Have a sugar rush. I need to eat this. Crazy. You know what's really crazy? Leaving the house at 6:15 in the morning, coming home at 6:30 at night for 50 bucks. But you know what? Something happened in the shower tonight, and it's happened before. Crazy. So crazy. So crazy. Crazy. Take my fingers and I just slightly put it over my eye, both eyes, and I close them. And this can even happen in my bedroom lying down. And the art that passed inside my head, what I saw, you have to go to a psychedelic. I think you have to be on LSD in order to see what I can see inside my head. If I can paint what's inside my head. First it started out as a spiral. Then it looked like salmon eggs, but really, and the salmon eggs were turning until it went all the way stretched out for miles and miles and miles. And the psychedelics I saw in my head was, I mean, if that's what it is to be on LSD, that was amazing. That was just amazing. I mean, I don't want to be on any of these drugs. Hold on. I can't even explain to you. And I wish I can draw it. Maybe one day I will. I need all kinds of paints. All kinds. What I saw, 3D. And it was split with these square, like, netting that wouldn't let me completely see the vision. It was insane, and I have to say this on the internet, even if I'm gonna be like one of the only ones watching it, unless Miss Tully is watching it, unless Rosa is watching it, unless whoop, almost lost my banana. Unless Tammy's watching it. Unless Jamie's watching it. This banana is insanely good. Sweet. Very sweet. What I saw was so amazing in my head. I can probably just keep my eyes closed for the rest of my life and look at this. It's just insane that I can't show anybody. Or I can't, and I maybe I could, but I can't right now, and I can't design it maybe in 150 years. But if I see it, and it's sometimes it becomes, what do you call, spirographed? Like it's like a spirograph design, and it's just crazy. But there's one image in front of the other image, and they won't let me see the other image. It's just really crazy. So I was at the berry farm today, and got to go to bed in 15 minutes. Got to get up and go back to the berry farm. If you knew what they made us do today, walk. This place is the biggest berry farm in Canada, I think, at least here in Quebec. And everything is in domes. They have, I think they have 15 domes this way. And then they have 1, 2, 3, I don't know, 300 feet long, 15 of them by 10 of them that way, 3,000, 4,000 feet. Lots of berries, lots of berries. And they make us walk. And then they give each person their row. You're on this side of the row, you're on this side of the row. There must be, I don't know, 80 rows of berries, 80 rows of berries, 80 rows. And then all of a sudden, they're putting more people in your rows because they want to finish the rows and move on. And then they're out of berries and they're not sure where to put you and they make you wait. And then you bring the berries for them, and they check every single crate. They open it up, they make sure there's not too many, they make sure there's no rotten ones, and sometimes there's not enough people checking them, and you might have to wait up to 20 minutes. I even waited up to 45 minutes once for them to check. And we're only paid by the crate. It ain't fair. And they just tell you to wait. And that's what you do when you need a little bit of this. At the end of the day, you walk away with 50 bucks. But I work with Mexicans, Nepalis, people from Korea, a couple of French people. And some of those people, when I make my 50, they make 100. Every single day. I don't know how they do it. But they don't check the whole plant. And sometimes they rip the plants. And then the next time you got to go pick the berries, that plant is ripped to the side. You got to lift the plant up. And when they see that, they just go by onto the next plant because the berries rot in the center. And then you have plants that are this high. So you got to be on your knees for 6 hours or 8 hours or the whole day on your knees. You can bend over. This banana is good. So this is the life. There's no life. 12 hours, 8 hours in the bedroom. That's 20. We got 4 hours left over. They bring 100, I think 100, 120 Mexicans from Mexico in the month of May to help them do all the work. And they go home in October. And they work 6 days a week, and they work between 10 and 13 hours a day. It's okay, minimum wage. They get minimum wage. But when we go in for the cash, we get paid by the crate. So last year, I said I want to get paid minimum wage, and she said to me, I'm going to have to take off the taxes. It's not worth it. It was like a threat. I have to take off your taxes. Anyways, I don't want to really get into that story anymore. This banana is good. I'm going to do a little bit of work tonight. I'm addicted. It's like, man, if I can make $50 a day for 30 days, that's $1,500. And some of them do it. Well, they don't go in on Sunday because of the church, a lot of them. And they do it, and I say, if I don't go in one day, it's like I lost 50 bucks. But it's strenuous on the body, on the mind, and for people to do what they do to us, to make us wait because they don't care because it's not costing them anything, is disgusting. But at least I know how it is around the world with slaves now. I know how it works. I've done this before. And there's more than this. There was something else I wanted to say before I started the video. Generous in this world. Oh yes, I think I know what it was. Money. You know what happens with money? Does anybody really know what happens with money? If we would stop building war machines, how many people, and I've done this before, I've talked about it before. If we would stop building war machines, hundreds of thousands of people would be out of work. We'd have no war. If no one was building war machines, we'd have no war. But they're building nuclear stuff. So many dangerous things. Thank God we're in the altar world. Thank God we all know that the end of life, death takes us into the next world. But really and truthfully, before that ever happens, I want to come back here and try and help make the correction. That we don't need the war. But without this world, how would we ever know what disaster is all about? How can you know what disaster is all about if you don't create it? How can you ever know how to correct a mistake if you never make that mistake? How would you know what love is, what hate is? If it got hot enough, I would melt. The only reason my body can sustain life because I am in an area space and I can occupy it to give me that life. Have you ever been in an airplane and hit an air pocket and then think to yourself, I hit an air pocket? Most people wouldn't think twice. How do you hit an air pocket? Everything is just empty space. But by hitting that air pocket, you now know that it's not empty space. The air pocket was a void in area space, occupied. Area space is occupied. A balloon, if you flew fast enough to go through a balloon, once you get into that balloon, you would fall. So now we'd be getting into something to do with gravity. If I go fast enough and flap my wings, I will fly. So what happens to gravity at that point? I'm pushing myself away from the occupied area space. If gravity was an absolute, then why does smoke go up? Why are some things not affected by gravity? And the word gravity or grave, gravity or gray, gravity means things that are, c'est grave. It's bad. It's bad. The French word for grave or grave, like a record player is grave, it means it's has those little lines in it. It's engraved. So words are telling us more than the reality of just a definition from a dictionary. The occupation of an area space of a letter in a word, whether it's 2 letters or 3 letters or 4 letters or 5 letters, whatever the amount of letters are telling us another story other than just the word. And then when you go into the dictionary and it's turning letters upside down, trying to explain how to say the letter, is another coded message. And every language has their own coded message. So all these things eventually they will come together to explain certain things. Boy, do I look golden. I look golden. I'm like the golden guy. First of all, you don't even see my hair, right? Do you see my hair? You don't, because of that light, right? Anyways, 13 minutes. I had nothing to say. I'm going to be working on my pie. I'd like to be eating pie. I got a sugar binge. I want to just eat. I had pork chops for supper with nothing else. Shame on me. I'm tired. I didn't feel like going to the supermarket to get it. I just biked home 2 miles and I passed by a supermarket. I was just wet because it rained today. I showed you in that video, if you look back, I walked in my bare feet because to have shoes on wet, it's like, and then it gets a little warm out, you feel twice as warm. And even when the sun is out and have your shoes on, when I take my shoes off, I feel revitalized. Anyways, it's after 10, time to hit the hay, go into that bedroom and sleep. So while you're watching this video, it'll be lights out. Raphael, 7286 in a constellation of Pegasus. Don't let me scare you.